Recently, I've been thinking a lot about what it means to be in a chapter in my life. What even defines a chapter, and why does this matter? Well, if I think of my life as a story, then naturally, this story should include some chapters, right? But how can I know in the moment what chapter I'm in? Or if I should turn the page to a new one? Is this even in my control? This wasn't a problem for me as a kid though, because chapters were naturally created for me. Growing up, everybody moved through these chapters at roughly the same pace. Elementary school, middle school, high school, college. At some point as adults though, these cohorts and structures cease to exist, and it's up to me to create my own chapters. I've been thinking about this because two of my friends are actually moving out of New York City, and later today we're going on like a boat ride to celebrate. So yeah, I'm at this age where people I know are kind of setting off into these new chapters. Some of them are very big chapters, like starting a family or settling down, setting roots for the long term. Something about the whole thing feels sentimental, so I decided I want to give them a call just to talk about this. I suppose there's these aspects to it where it's like, hey, if somebody else is doing something, should I be doing that same thing too? Especially because of like the trained behavior of growing up and doing things with other people. It feels like if other people your age are doing something, that it would make sense for you to follow that same thing too. Now, there are no right or wrong answers. Each person decides for themselves. But knowing our time is limited, how we choose to spend it matters. Heading back into the city, back into the chaos. I feel like the birds in this park don't give up. There's like all these chipmunks everywhere. Yo, this city's got scaffolding everywhere, man. So like my chapters post-college have been very much work and career focused. Like when I first graduated college, I got to move out and into my own apartment for the first time. I got to like go on trips and travel, and that was kind of like the first focus. And then the next chapter was that I really wanted to move to New York City. I also really wanted to break into the tech industry. That was about like 3 to 4 years ago. Of course, the pandemic affected things as well. But I would say like since that chapter, I haven't really had a clear chapter that I'm working towards next. I think I have this like sense that there's like a chapter approaching, but I'm not quite sure what that chapter looks like. And it's like really fuzzy to me, unlike a lot of the other ones that were like pretty clear outcome focused. Like this next one, I don't actually know the exact outcome I'm looking for. Yo, what's up, Bob?
What's up, dude? How you doing?
Good. Were you somebody that had things like really planned out thoroughly, where you're like, I know I want to get married by this age, I know I want to like have a house by this age?
Dude, from the get-go, I knew that it is kind of yes. Like it's not as crazy as like, oh, I need this date to this date. If I don't miss it, then I'm gonna like, you know. But it's windows that I'm trying to work towards.
Okay, so then, were you sad about leaving?
Think about it, right? I stand by with what I told you earlier in the conversation that it is the greatest city. It is the greatest city. It's like, it's in New York. You have a bodega at every corner. You have like all these carts at every corner. You have endless amounts of coffee shops, restaurants. But look, at the end of the day, I think the sacrifice you get in losing New York City, I guess is offset by like this new chapter.
Okay. I have not exactly reached a conclusion to this, but here's my best shot. First, it's completely normal for me to be unsure about these things. All of the cliches I see online talk about your 20s being the years that define your life. And that's a lot of pressure to put on myself. Even if I was someone that thought they had it all planned out, I should probably expect to be surprised. The feeling of growing older is scary, and it's expected that I would look back on younger memories of mine fondly because I love them. And although I don't know what's ahead, I think it's helpful for me to think of it as a blank canvas that is yet to be crafted. Last, the start of a new chapter often comes from a goal deep within that's not completely understood just yet. It's almost just a feeling. And as much as I can't predict, I know that when I pay a little bit more attention to those instincts, things do feel more aligned. Anyways, this is not as deep as I made it sound at the top of the video. When I think back on memories of my life, I generally don't remember what I was worried about or ruminating over in those moments. I typically think of the places I was at, the people I was with, and the moments that we shared. And so this moment here, I'll remember this one.